Welcome to the Jersey to Vegas podcast. This podcast talks about the hows, whys, and what's next in your life journey. If you're looking to start fresh and turn over a new leaf, you're in the right place. Now, here's your host, Pete Isip.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jersey to Vegas podcast. My name is Pete, and today we're going to talk about the questions that I put out on Instagram. You know that little filter where you could ask a question? Well, I had a bunch of people ask me questions, and I'm really excited to answer them. So let's get to it. But before we start, before I get into the questions, I want to make sure that I shout out my Patreons or the patrons. I have two new ones. First one, good friend and also coach with me at Crank. It is Karen Shedd. I'm very excited to have her part of the crew. We're going to call it the crew now because I don't know what to call the Patreon people. So I'm very excited for that. And another person, Zach from Atlanta. I think I shouted him out last time, but I don't remember. So I'm going to make sure I do it again today just in case. He was an intern at Crank. Again, another kid that is very creative. I didn't know where he went to or what he's been doing. And surprisingly, he just showed up and is now on the Patreon crew. And finally, Gladys Gonzalez, half of the Latina Heat. I'm very, surprised. When people sign up to my Patreon, I get very surprised that they do so, but I am very appreciative that you guys have done it. So with that, they get a bunch of little extra stuff. Like I did some behind-the-scenes video yesterday, and they're going to get a bunch of other things with the newer projects that I'll be working on. Whew. All right, so let's get settled down. I want to try to make this like conversational instead of like a YouTube video. It's tough to do it because I don't have a guest. So these questions are really cool because it makes me pretend as if I do have a guest and they are in the seat next to me or across from me. So when I do this, I'm going to answer your questions based off what you guys have asked on Instagram. And this is like maybe 2 weeks ago. We'll start off with the first one. And just so you know, guys, this is the 75th time I filmed this. I did the same thing live on YouTube, and there's tons of background shit going on. I did it 2 times this morning. I want to kill somebody. So this is going to be the 4th time doing it. Something happened with the audio, and it just wasn't working. I'm hoping on this time around it's going to work. It looks like it is. It looks like everything's going. I tested it again and again, so we give it a shot. But no matter what, things ain't perfect, especially when you're doing things to start up. So that's just the way it goes. Question number 1. Will you open up a gym in Las Vegas? This is hands down the most popular question that I get amongst friends, family, and just people that are on Instagram and or Facebook or whatever. Putting the effort to open up a gym and making sure that it's run the way you want it to takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of passion. It takes a lot of caring about people. That's what makes a gym. It's not about the dumbbells. It's not about the kettlebells. It's not about the squat racks or the Airdyne or the rowing machine. You know, there's a lot of things that we think of as visual and or, I don't know the word, I guess visual. I don't know. I thought that was important when opening gyms. I thought that was important all the time. And as I started to progress, I tried to make things better because I thought all that stuff, materialistic, was very important because of now I'm putting more words in that I don't know, right? Because of the way it looks. What matters is your heart. What matters isn't how much you care. What matters is how much passion you have to put into it. Now, am I going to say your business is going to be monetized based off those things? That, my friend, is where business mixes with passion, right? That's where you have to be a little bit more business savvy in order to create the money that's needed to hold the roof up, right? Or to pay your bills or to have a career in that sense. But if you just want to open up a gym because you love it and you feel like you deserve to be there and you know that's where you want to be, well then that's how you open up. You need that to start up opening the gym. And presently, for me, I don't. Like I don't even have the passion to even work out. You know, it's become a job. It's something that I know I have to do and I try my best to do it. It's difficult for me to just get up and, start warming up and then get into a routine of working out. I do it. I've just started to. I just started working out again. And that's like using the gym over here, but I'm not going to use the gym over here, which is like a really nice gym, kind of a nice gym, but it's like where normal people are. And I tested that out. I went there, and the people suck, by the way. If you go to a regular gym and you don't have any gym etiquette, I feel like that's the first thing people need to do when they join a gym. Not like, here's the tour and here's the showers and we have a swimming pool that smells like shit. Like, we don't want that. You should be taught how to act inside a fucking gym. Because I went to that gym. I'm not going to say what it's called, but it's over there. If you know, it's there. I was benching, okay? I was doing bench press. I finally found one that no one was near. While I was benching, doing a 5x5 at about 70 to 80%, nothing crazy, but something that's like decently heavy, a little bit of strength work. Haven't done it in a while. While I'm benching, a person is grabbing 10s off my bench. Now, it's not a regular bench. It's not a professional fucking powerlifting bench. It's not a competition bench, right? It's just a bench that has like the 10s and the 5s and the 15s and all along the side. Motherfucker started. I saw on the side of my eye, they're grabbing. Notice I said there. It's two people. One on this side, one on this side. They're grabbing the fucking plates off my bench while I'm benching mid-set. Etiquette. Don't go near someone when they are lifting. If they're mid-lift, you don't fucking talk to them. When they're mid-lift, you don't go ask them a question. When they're mid-lift, you don't go near them. If I'm squatting and I'm going for a 1 rep max and someone fucking tries to grab a 5 that's in front of me, I'm going to spit on you. Okay? Because you have zero etiquette, so I'm going to give you even less etiquette. If I'm deadlifting, don't fucking step up in front of me and pretend like you were going to ask me a question when I'm getting ready to fucking deadlift off the ground. If I'm benching, do not touch anything because I have something over my face that can drop on top of my face. And by you even grazing my bar, that can distract the path of the bar, which can make something else happen, and I can either get injured, hurt, and or injured and hurt, and then you're going to get injured and hurt. People should understand etiquette. I know you want to film yourself, and that's cool, I get that. I know you want to, TikTok it, and you want to put Instagram shit where your balls come out. I get it. That's fine. But not mid-set. I fucking hate gyms. And maybe that's why too. Like, I'm a little bit, only reason I want to open a gym is to have a place to lift. So I have a place to work out. Because I'm so spoiled for the past 11, 12 years that's how I worked out. But I don't have it. Like, I don't have that part of me anymore that wants to. In the future, maybe. But presently, no. I do not see myself opening up a gym. That's funny. I might as well. I could go right into the next question. Are you training presently, and what are you doing? 0, I'd like to say. 0. I'm not doing what I used to. I'm doing what I can. Because what I do know is when I'm training, I used to use it as my outlet for emotion. Right? I'm still do. Like, I used to use it as an outlet to get rid of whatever depression, whatever anger, whatever angst I had inside me. To defeat whatever it is, to feel defeated, to feel like I'm done, I have no more energy left. That's what I use it for. Now I'm super don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so now I'm just trying my best to get a workout in. I feel normal again. I feel like probably you. I know it's hard for you to work after a hard day. I know it's hard to work out after you had an 8 to 12 hour shift. How do you expect to do it? You're exhausted. It's easier to just call it than to not even do anything. But that's how I feel right now. I don't have that, like I said, that passion anymore to work out. It feels like it's something I have to do. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to choose to work out because I want to, which is a progressive step in what's been happening. So I'll take that as a win. Right? And sometimes we feel like we have to go from 0 to 100 in training. Sometimes you got to go to 0 to 10%, and make it more of a long game versus that short game. like 10%, and then maybe add another 10% next time, which means if I worked out 1 day a week, I did 1 day a week. Maybe I went for a walk, I did something light. Then after that, I'll go to 20%, which means I'll, increase it a little bit. Maybe I'll go for a lighter jog. Maybe I'll do some squats in the middle. Maybe I'll increase it to 4 days, 3 days, 2 days a week, whatever. As long as there's progression in what you're doing, it doesn't really matter how fast it is, even though we want faster results. Right? We always think the more we do, the faster we're going to see results. False. It's false. Whatever works for you, everyone is different. What worked for someone may not work for you. What worked for me is definitely not going to work for you, but it might. Progression is progression, and I just downloaded a program from a friend, coach, mentor, James Smitty Smith. If you don't know, from Diesel Crew, I don't even know if he calls it Diesel Crew anywhere, but CPPS certification. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. It's him and Joe DeFranco. You might have heard of it, heard of the cert. It's a great cert, and you'll learn a lot if you're a coach and or someone that just wants to start training. You'll learn the right way in the field of actual strength and athlete conditioning. It's dope, and it's called Ageless Athlete because, I am an athlete, but I am aging, which means my joints don't feel good. For the past 2 years, my joints and body hasn't felt right, but I did whatever I had to do to kind of manage my emotions, right? And for me, it's pretty destructive. So I want to kind of take a step backwards and learn more. And that's why I always go to Smitty, is because their knowledge is so... I don't know the word, how much they know, but at the same time, they know how to apply it and make it feel like you can understand it. Sometimes you get into this field and it's so stupid crazy with like words and exercise phys and science, you get lost. Unless you're really into that realm and understand the language. Some people just want it as simple as you can be. And these guys they simplify everything. And it's great because they use a lot of time under tension, a lot of isometrics, a lot of core work, mobility. They would always emphasize warming up. And these guys train pro athletes. Joe DeFranco trains Triple H. They're doing the right things for the right people. So why aren't we? Maybe we're stubborn. Maybe we don't want to change as well. And for me, it's difficult to do so. I understand the protocol. I definitely implement it into Crank when I was doing it. But at the same time, we had just had different goals for different people. And right now, my goal is to kind of just be strong, feel good, and make sure I feel good. I want to be able to pick up my fucking crayon off the ground without having to hold my back. I want to be able to go to sleep without my shoulder hurting. There's little, aches and pains that you get from being an athlete. It's aches and pains that you get from being active. So I just want to learn that process. And, I always use myself as the dummy because I can't deliver a program or workout to someone if I've never felt it before. So that's one of the programs I'm doing. What I've been doing as a workout and exercise, I've been doing my own Crank style workout. I kind of just developed my own program, right? And just to move a little bit more, I use the hotel gym, the apartment complex gym that they have here. It's got 10s to 50 pounds, and that's it. That's all I do, and I do mobility work in between. So I kind of know how to program to get a nice workout in. Is it goal oriented? No, because my goal is nothing of a 6-pack abs or to get 10% heavier RPM max rep. It's to just move, it's just to get my heart going, my muscles feeling okay. That's kind of the workouts that I'm doing now. And there's also a program called GMB. I think it's gmb.io. I don't remember, but it's more of movement. It's not like fucking Animal Flow. Okay, I'm not an Animal Flow guy where I'm doing the dart and I'm sitting through and I'm doing the wrestling sit out. And then after that, I wave my arm back, and then I do a wave like this, and then I hold it for a second, and then I come back over here, and I do the dagger. Then I do the dagger. I'm not doing that. Okay, it's fucking movement. And it kind of feels like you're just rolling around. Learning how to do back rolls, front tuck rolls, but at the same time, giving myself that mobility and that joint integrity that I'm missing. That's what I'm doing for training. Otherwise, hopefully that wasn't a long rant. At the same time, hopefully you got something from there. And I'll move into the next one is it's training again. What's the best way to start training? Meaning, what's the best way to become a personal trainer? So we can just spin off what it is I was talking about. The best way to start training is find the people that you enjoy reading, the people you enjoy the program protocol, the people that you enjoy watching. See if they have a book, a program, something of knowledge, and start studying them. If you're going to just start and pick anyone, and you might not like the way they deliver what's being said, right? You may not like the way they deliver their message. At the same time, you have to know the difference between someone good and someone that's just like an Instagram hoe. I want to say it, Instagram hoe. Because some people just sell their ass. It doesn't mean they're good. Some people just smell their dick, just in case you're wondering, that's what they smell. Some people just sell that, and that you think they're good. No. Who's reputable? Who's someone that's been in the game for a long time? Not someone that's just shredded for no reason. Where's the Google review it? See what it is they say. Find someone that is interesting, but at the same time has a credibility in order for you to learn from. I'm not saying the other people's workouts aren't hard or the other people's workouts aren't great. You know, you could talk about CrossFit back in the day. It looked good. People sold it, but it doesn't mean their workouts were great. They're getting way better, you know, depending on the coach. That's the same thing. For me, Smitty, Zach, DeFranco, Alan Cosgrove. Off the top of my head, that's the ones that I would suggest doing and listening to. Zach Evanesh, he's the one that kind of changed my life. You know, he changed the way everything went for training purposes, right? Smitty, met him from Zach. That easy. DeFranco, met him from Smitty and Zach. Number 4, Alan Cosgrove. Started with him in personal training. I guess I read him before that, but then Zach kind of reinforced it, and the model that he did was more, he was the first person to do like semi-private group training in the style that we did it, and that's where I started reading and learning from him, and his concepts it just makes sense. You know, and training, as long as it makes sense, it makes sense. And I had the honor of working with Randy and Ted at Club H and learning from them. Randy Grizzo and Ted Vasitas, I definitely butcher Randy's name all the time, but they taught me everything about training. At the same time, they're tough. You know, they know everything. They know everything. They know how to implement. They know what's happening. They understand why we're doing things, and that's the main thing. The main thing I learned from them is if you could do what you want, as long as it makes sense and you can explain why you're doing it. Doesn't really matter why you're doing it. If you're using a Bosu, a half Bosu, and you're putting one leg on it, this is because it's personal, right? This is what I did. So I was training someone, and at my old gym, they had a half Bosu ball, which is that round dome that people hit each other with usually. I would put one leg on it and make people do unilateral, I would say off-balance squats, right? So one leg will be on the ball, half ball, and the other one will be on the ground. And then I would make them do squats, like 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. And then after I was done, Randy was like, come here. Why are you doing that? In my head, I got defensive. I just got there. I just got the job. I just started training with them. The gym just opened up. It was like brand new. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? I was just trying to change it up, trying to do a different squat. And he was like, yeah, but why? I was like, because one leg is being balanced and the other one's on the ground, trying to find balance on the leg. He was like, so you're saying this person has great balance already? I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, did you assess it? I was like, no. So, and it was just like a pause. And he was like, don't you think people already have trouble balancing with both feet on the ground versus one on the ball to create that imbalance? Yeah, I think so. No idea. I had no idea. I'm trying to lie out of my ass the entire time. But at the same time, he's just teaching me this lesson that, like, he's fine with it. The exercise is a good exercise, I guess, if you can explain why. Right? If that person already had great, like an athlete has great grounding, they could stick the floor, they could move laterally, behind, forward, it's multi-directional. Now maybe we can add a little bit of imbalance to their protocol. Right? That's kind of the answer he might have been looking for versus like, no, Karen's from Canada and she doesn't do much except for work on the computer all day long. So it's like, right, she has trouble walking. Why am I putting her on that? So like that's the type of people you want to learn from. Like someone that's going to challenge you, someone that you understand, someone you get to, and of course get a certification. You need a cert to start working if that's something you want to do. But if you have any other questions in regards to training, please just let me know, and I could move you in that direction. I already gave you the 4 most reputable guys that I can think of right now. I'm sure there's 1,000 more. As I got better and as I got to understand more, Mike Robertson, what's the other guy? The FMT. Man, I can't remember. Why can't I remember? A Great Cook. And then Joel Jameson. Joel Jameson for energy, more of rehab / assessment from like Mike Robertson and Great Cook. I definitely learned a lot from those guys too. But those are like the guys you're going to think about or you're going to hear about when you start personal training. So again, hit me up, let me know, put out some questions down below. Otherwise, I'll not know nothing. Full nothing. Ever. That was a long one. So next question, guys, what does your nutrition look like? What are you doing? What are you eating? Looks like you gained weight. Awesome. First off, fuck you. Fuck you for saying that. Current diet looks like you gained weight. I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate everything. Thanks for reinforcing how I feel, prick face. So what am I doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. So obviously I've gained definitely some weight. I stepped on a scale before we left here and it was almost close to 200 pounds. It was like 190. Creeping into the upper 190s. So like I haven't been there since a long time, probably bulking for like bodybuilding, where I was like bulking but not even knowing I was eating like shit. And mainly it wasn't because I was eating bad. Mainly it was because I was drinking a lot and I was stressed out. So like for me and for anyone else, we can do everything we can, right? We can eat keto lifestyle forever. We can have the proper calorie count, the best coach in the world, right? We can have everything in our food made for us. But if you're not ready mentally and you have so much stress behind what you're trying to do, all you're doing is adding more stress to that weight loss. And of course you're going to get stuck. Nothing is going to happen. I'm a perfect example of trying to change it. Guys, I've tried everything in this point in time for the past year to try to bring my weight down. I've tracked my macros. I understand how to do the macros. I've cycled my macros. I've tried intermittent fasting. I went straight into low carbohydrate, high protein and fat the entire time. I ran, I exercised, I lifted, I changed my workout protocol. I went to more hypertrophy. I lessened up on the intensity. I did so much things. I did more cardio. You know what happened? Nothing. I gained weight. You know why? My brain wasn't there. My brain wasn't ready to work with my body. No, it wasn't ready to do so. It was protecting itself because of all the stress that's been going on outside of the gym, outside of, I guess you could say, inside my life. You know, from moving out to the change, to the gym closing, to not seeing people, to being stuck to the whole life change. Became very stressful to me. And nothing happened. No matter what. I would try to join jiu-jitsu classes, try to get more of a sweat. Nothing happened with my weight. So for you guys that are watching, if you don't have that shit part together and are ready to take that step, and I think Marcos kind of talked about it inside our episode beforehand, like if you're not ready for it, your body's not ready either. So you have to be ready, and you know, the stress is the main cause of a lot of things. You know, working out is stressful. It's stressful to your body. It may feel good, but it's stressful to your body. Dieting is way stressful to your body. You know, and you don't have those in line, of course your body's going to protect itself. It thinks it's in danger, so it's just going to protect. And like I said, we could talk about this more. If you want, let me know. Comment, message me, whatever it is. I feel like the messaging worked the best. Most people don't want to comment. I don't know and understand why. But it helps me understand what videos to make and create for you guys and who to bring in. Like I know nutrition is a big thing, so I definitely want to bring in more people that understand nutrition more than I do. Or at least we could have a great conversation talking about it because it's fun. I like to learn about things like that. I like to learn and challenge myself in things that I don't know, you know. So let me know with that and we can move on to the next question. Yo-yo dieting. So pretty much yo-yo dieting, the question was, is it okay for me to keep falling off track every time I jump on and I see success? Well, that's normal. It's a normal process of what it is they sell you here. They sell you success in like a package, but then they never teach you how to live once you're done with that package. So I'm guilty of doing the same thing for marketing purposes, 30-day challenges, 21-day fat loss, whatever it is, to sell you this weird marketing number in order for you to buy into it. And then from there, you'll get success. But the question is, what happens after? And that's where the problem happens. That's when the metabolism doesn't understand what to do with what's happening to your body. You made it smaller, right? And now you reach this goal. It's just a perfect example is a wedding or a trip, right? Wedding or a trip, they're on point. You tell me you don't fucking look the best during your wedding. Most people do, right? They're in their wedding dress, they're good, and then all of a sudden it's over, and then they just go back to normal routine. So it was just so fast that they never weaned out of it. You have to reverse out of it, what they would call reverse dieting, right? It's not yo-yo. There's a difference between yo-yo and reverse. Yo-yo is like stop, don't do shit forever, and then I'm going to go back on the same diet that I did that was 1,200 calories that destroyed my metabolism and my hormones. So your hormones get fucked up in a lot of those deficits. So you have to understand how to regulate them again and making sure that most of us don't even eat anyway. And when we're on a diet, we actually eat more, but it's just food that seems like diet food, right? It's healthy, I guess. So everyone's different, everyone's individual, so it's hard to understand that process. So for you, it's normal. The yo-yo diet's normal. So what you have to do is find something that you could stick with. If you like the keto version, be keto. If you like the paleo version, be paleo. If you like intermittent fasting, do intermittent fasting. But you got to do it for a long time. You can't just do it for a short period of time, but okay, I quit, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to do something else. You have to find something that you can sustain. Sustainability. What is something you can repeat over and over and over and over and over again? If you keep that 15-8 window, whatever it is, then yeah, keep it. 16-8, whatever that window is, do it. But do it for a long time. Just don't do it Monday through Friday and then the weekends just say fuck it. That's not the way it works. You need proper refeeds. You need proper days. When you go into a deficit, you need proper refeeds. You have to understand what's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm just saying off the top of my head of a person that I'm just making up in my head, right? But it may not, the protocol may be different for another person. That's why it's hard to give nutritional advice without really knowing anything. And if anyone ever gives you like a diet plan, which I've done, and I've learned that I fuck people up. I mess people up, and I feel bad. But now it's time for them, and now I know how to do it and how to make them recover correctly, that hopefully I can change that for the future. That's all I can do. So for you, I would definitely find something that's sustainable and just keep at it. Don't look at it as like a goal, like I have to be here in 3 months. That's why summers suck. That's why I hate the summers. It's like, I need something because I'm going on vacation in July. I need to be this way. You're going to work your ass off, put yourself in a crazy deficit, not eat anything, be really strict and regimented, and then once you get there, you're going to drink a gallon of beer. Not a gallon, a keg of beer. You're going to have a gallon of 75,000 cocktails. You're going to eat buffets. And then once you get back home, you're going to say, fuck it. It's over. So now what? You don't wean yourself off. You just go right back to what you normally would be doing. And now your body doesn't understand what to do. So it's going to store fat. It's continuously going to keep storing. And then when you try to diet again, it's going to remember the stress you gave it. All the stress you gave your body, it's going to remember. And guess what's going to happen? Your body's going to protect itself from it. So that's why a lot of diets that people do don't work again. Sure, maybe a different variation, maybe some extra calories. Maybe you're in the right point and it worked for you. Maybe your genetic frame makes you do it. But for most, not so lucky. So that is my answer to you, my friend. How to is big a difference. How to stop self-sabotage. How do you stop self-sabotage? Don't know, because I do it all the time. So if you have an answer for me, I'd love to fucking hear it. Case in point, currently, I'm self-sabotaging my life 100%. 100. I know it. I get my depression. I get my bad points. I know what to do. I know what I have to do. But I don't want to do it. I know I want to get a job. I know I want to to do things around what it is I do every day, which is hang out with the kids all day long. I know that I have to go meet people and do shit. I don't want to. I don't want to meet people. I don't want to hang out with new people when I've been hanging out with the same great people for such a long time. It's hard to step away from something that was so great. It's hard to replace something that was so great with something that's unknown. Because self-sabotage is mainly us being scared of uncertainty. Because the world is crazy and you don't know what's going to happen out there. Right? It's like walking through a dark tunnel. But at the end of the tunnel, who the fuck knows what's there? Is it a pot of gold? Or is it a scorpion? I don't know. Is it a can of peanut butter? You tell me what's there. I can't. Which is why we revert back to self-sabotaging and just kind of doing things that are comfortable to us. I want to do all these things. I have it in my head. I have the plan. I just have to take that step out. And it's going to take some progress. I know I've had progress. And like I talked about before, 10% is a progress. 1% is progress. I went from not looking for jobs, not looking for anything, to at least going on to Indeed. At least filling out a resume. Not even halfway. I'm almost not even close. But I started filling it out. I went to a job fair to at least get out there and meet a company, meet new people, talk to someone. Do I get the job? I don't fucking care, honestly. Whatever. If I get it, I get it. I don't, I don't. But at least I'm taking that step out in the process of it. So for you, how to stop self-sabotage is don't look at it as 100% all the way. Look at whatever you're doing, and you're going to face uncertainty. You're going to face fear. Right? It's very scary because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But if you just take a step in, it's going to be dark. You're going through the tunnel. You took a step. You take another step. One step at a time. It's still going to be dark. You're not going to know shit. But something's going to happen at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what it is. But sometimes we have to take that chance. And that's all self-sabotaging is going to do. And that's how we beat self-sabotage. It's very hard. It's very unknown. It's very scary. Why do you think people that get into like even diets or working out, they'll start great in the beginning, and then it just kind of it gets stagnant and stale. It's like nothing's happening. It's almost like you get to the middle of the tunnel, right? They can't see their results happening, but it is. You're already halfway through the tunnel, but we can't see shit. Right? We can't see anything. It's like I'm dieting, I'm doing this, I'm working out, and the scale hasn't moved. I can't see where I'm going. Where am I going with this? I want to be 30 pounds lighter. I want to be 10 inches smaller. It's happening. We're just in the middle of shit. And your body's adjusting to this new change. So you just have to sit down and you have to believe that it's going to work out. And then when you get to the end of the tunnel, it doesn't mean it's over. It means we just find another tunnel to walk through, and that's life. And that's it. That's what we do. We go from one dark tunnel to the next dark tunnel. But it's like, what's happening in that tunnel? It's got to be some fun. It's got to be cool because you're learning so much about yourself. But we don't see it. No, I don't. I don't see shit. I'm blind. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little break real quick, and I want you to listen to these quick messages from our sponsors, and I'll get right back to you guys for our last couple questions, and then we'll close out, all right?
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now, back to the show.
All right, guys, thank you for coming back, and let's get to the last couple questions before we close up here. I am grateful that you guys did hang out this long, and I do appreciate it. This is a question that I have to answer. What's the biggest... I have two more. What's the biggest difference between Jersey and Vegas? The people. And I'm not talking like the people at the store. I'm talking that I don't have anyone. That's hands down the hardest difference that I have here. I'm choking up, as usual, whenever I talk about this subject, because I fucking miss everybody. And like I said before, in the last question with self-sabotage, I am stubborn to let anyone else into my life. because the people there were so good. That texting and FaceTime and Instagram doesn't make a difference. It doesn't. It doesn't matter how connected we are. The interaction of the human body, the interaction of energy amongst people and themselves is what makes life. That's what makes... Yes, I have my family. I fucking love my family. That's why I'm here. I do what I do because I fucking love my family. But I also have family on the other side of the country that I miss. And I could talk to one or two people and, and have a good time, but that connection that I had with you guys, the only ones that are listening to me, with you guys in New Jersey, are the ones that make me feel alive. I had a rough year and a half, rough 2 years. Even in that down point, the connection with the people that I still had, at least it was there. And yeah, I could go out and maybe make a friend. I don't know. I fucking want to. I don't want to. That connection I don't have anymore. And everything else, what else? Everything else is different. Everything else is different. The weather's different. The way they drive here is different. The houses look different. I don't know, everything. It's not the same. There's so much, it's so open. You can see everything is beautiful. It's so fucking beautiful that I'm so against it. Ain't that some shit? I drive on the highway and I throw up. You know why? Because I did not know this until now. I get nauseous from motion. I get motion sick. I get dizzy. I almost want to throw up. My feet go numb. They start tingling when I get high in the mountain. And when I can see open plain and there's nothing beside me, there's no trees and shit, I get scared. I get scared I'm going to die. I have to almost pull over. And that has to we had to find ways to get me off the highway and drive in the street. Because that's how freaked out I get. And it's scary, guys. It's scary for me. I don't understand what's going on. It's like I'm on a roller coaster at the top. And that feeling you get before you drop? That's kind of what it feels like. And I get very, very nervous. And I freak out. I freak out. And I feel bad for that. Because I feel like I'm going to kill them. It's different. Everything else is super different. But the main one that is different for me and the most difficult to accept is relationships and people, and I could just see everyone still. I could see everyone from Bucktown to Crank to Outdoor Crank to Bel Pais to Matt's gym to my house to the people I hang out with. I could still just see everyone, and I feel like it sucks because you're never going to see them again, but you will, but it just feels weird. It feels weird. So I don't want to end on that note. That's a fucking pretty terrible way to end this podcast. So let's get to the last one, which is, what can I please you with? What can I please? What can you please me with? I will definitely say an eggplant parm sandwich. Eggplant parm sandwich. But what I want you to do is I want you to take the eggplants, the fried ones, put them on my eyes while it's cold. Cold fried eggplants on my eyes. After that, you're going to take tomato sauce or marinade, and wipe it on my forehead. All of it. Make sure it drips down a little bit towards my cheeks. Then you're going to take the mozzarella or the mozzarella and you're going to put them on my eyebrows and make it hot enough to where it melts like a mask across my entire face all the way down to my mouth. So at least I could touch the cheese like that. And then with the bread, that better be toasted on the outside, but super soggy on the middle, and put them as earmuffs, just like these headphones. Put them here, so I could hear the inside of the bread, and I could hear the inside of the sandwich. My head is now the sandwich, inside. And just so you guys know, I'm allergic to everything inside the sandwich. I'm allergic to eggplant. I'm allergic to tomato sauce. I'm allergic to cheese. Well, some cheeses. I'm allergic to some breads, depending on who makes it. That's pretty much it. That's what I would like you to please me with: an eggplant parmesan sandwich. Whole, not a half, whole, because that would be great. That'd be fantastic. But you know what you can please me with is come back to this podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out. This is episode 7. I'm glad you guys came out today. If you guys have more questions, I really do enjoy answering them. I do enjoy, it feels like I'm talking to you, especially when people ask me a question, because I know the people that ask me the question, so at least I could direct it towards that person, and it feels like we're talking, without you talking back to me or giving me any type of input. So guys, thank you again. This is Pete from the Jersey to Vegas podcast. If you guys haven't been on our Patreon, make sure you jump on there, patreon.com/Jersey to Vegas, and check out what we got there. Check out the little tiers, help support the channel, because, I need all the help that I can get out here, and I do appreciate you guys with all my heart and all my soul. And I'll talk to you guys next time on episode 8. See you guys next Wednesday.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from Pete, you can follow him on Instagram at Pete Isip. Thanks again, and see you next week. Bye-bye.